need to talk about it. We need to talk about Bloomberg. The Bloomberg video. We need to talk about this video. Let me get my headphones on. Let me. You guys are probably wondering what the hell is he talking about. So, where do we begin? Last week, on my feed on YouTube, I got a recommendation. It was called Online Poker's Dirty Secret by Bloomberg's original. Who's Bloomberg? Bloomberg is financial news, business news, the stocks, economics, industries, and they brought out a video, Online Poker's Dirty Secret, now already has 250,000 views. I have a lot of issues with this video. So from the start they're going very doomy and they're saying everybody on online poker is accusing each other of being poker bots. They follow it up with some clips to kind of prove how online poker is fucked. That's the literal first quote of the first clip.
Online poker is right now.
To give that some context, that's a guy that made a video, quite a popular video, I looked it up, about ACR and ignition bots, about news that came out at that time. He's not talking about all online poker, he's not talking about every single website, but they take the one quote, online poker is fucked right now. Next one, Boeree. Hey, great clip. I love Boeree. What is she gonna say about it?
The trust is gone. You can't go and play high stakes online poker anymore and assume that you're playing a fair game.
There's already immediately something very suspicious about this, because Boeree, a very knowledgeable poker player, they take a quote from her where she talks about online high stakes poker. You can't trust online high stakes poker anymore. Now, if you know a little bit about poker bots, where are poker bots? They're not at high stakes. They don't beat high stakes. They beat mid stakes, small stakes. That's where you find poker bots, or that's where the poker bots that have been found in the past usually are found. They were at the lower stakes. Now, why would Boeree say something so wrong? Why would she focus on high stakes? Did she make a mistake? No, Bloomberg took a quote from her where she's talking about RTA. Now, if you know a little bit about poker, RTA, real-time assistant, has nothing to do with bots, but they take it out of context and they just paste it onto the bot problem. Hey, great start. 40 seconds in, they're already completely wrong. So they continue like for 4 minutes. They're talking about poker bots, they're explaining how they work, all good. All fine. They're generalizing a bit, but okay, sure, whatever, that's fine, simplifying it, sure. And now, out of nowhere, out of seemingly nowhere, they go ahead and do this.
Not only can you bet any amount, you can bet any object.
What do you mean, any object? Who made this video? Is this someone that just like watched a Hollywood movie where someone put their car keys in the middle? Going all in? That's not how poker works. That's not how any of this works.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Especially online poker. I haven't seen GG software where you can click, hey, I want to add my car keys to this pot. You play for money, you play for chips, you don't play for any object. You're not allowed to just put any object. Who made this video? It's like they found some guy in the back who had nothing to do, that played a game of poker once in their life, and they're like, yeah, I can make a video about poker. So basically halfway in the video, they already start going completely off. Immediately after this part, they talk about the comparison with chess and poker. And hey, yeah, you can compare chess and poker, and yes, computers have fought against chess players, and decades ago they beat the best chess players already, and then it took decades longer for top poker players to be beaten by AI, by computers. That's right, but then they go ahead and do this.
Best movement on a chessboard, but it couldn't help it behave like a human. Essential in poker.
What do you mean it's essential to behave like a human? It's not because of the human factor that computers weren't able to beat top players. It's because of the game being immensely more complicated. You have hidden information, you have more probabilities. You're not playing chess anymore where everything's on the board in front of you. You're dealing with a lot more combinations of possibilities, a lot more cards. It's a much more complicated game. So they go ahead and saying that while the academics started beating the top players, you had commercially minded poker players doing the same thing. That's not true at all. Yes, you had poker bots being developed at the time, but they were at a much lower level. They were very simple. They just like bet a lot of money when they had a strong hand. That's it. They would never be the top professional. But Bloomberg, again, being completely generalized and simplifying things way too much, or saying, yeah, they're doing the same thing. It's not the same thing. So next part, they get back on track. So every time they talk about the bots themselves, I feel like they do a good job. Now they're explaining the bot farm corporation, people behind bots online and are selling them, and they were in contact with them. I have a bit of an issue where they now also mention the names of the bots and the products. That rubs me off a bit the wrong way, where it feels a little like it's kind of also an advertisement. But okay, that's not the worst part of this video. We're getting to the worst part.
Definitely in the financial interests of the poker industry to always have tables busy, always have bets being made. And the reality is that poker bots is a simple way to do that.
Like, this is just so out of touch. They're basically saying, so first they go ahead and explain how they try to be undetectable, and then they go ahead and say, well, actually they don't need to be undetectable because sites kind of like them. They want them on their site. And I'm not denying there's poker bots out there. There are. Usually on unregulated sites that are having problems, that are not investing in security, that are not doing much. Here they're globalizing. They're saying, yeah, poker sites in general, they want more bots, they want more rake, they want a short-term profit. And it's easy to think, oh yes, the corporate greed, of course they want that. But if you think about it, why would a poker site really want to jeopardize their trust? It's very important when you play on a site that you trust the site. Now, if the site has bots and those things get detected, players find out there's bots, of course the site is going to have a bad reputation, people are going to leave, and they're going to lose a lot of long-term profit. So why would they want this short-term profit of bots? It doesn't make sense. On top of that, let's not forget, a lot of people working in the poker software business or in the operator sides are poker players themselves or used to be poker players themselves. They want a healthy ecosystem. They want a good game. Why the hell would they be like, oh yeah, there's some poker bot, but it's fine. They're running the tables. Now, again, that argument also doesn't make sense. Look at the small sites. On small sites, the games are dead usually during the night. The games are dead sometimes during the day. Certain times are just very low volume and it's tough to find tables on small sites. While on the bigger sites, they don't need bots because they already have a big player pool. They already have their games running. You don't need those bots to run your games. And again, the sites that would are maybe a few unregulated sites out there, not denying that they're out there, but Bloomberg, and this is the biggest issue I have with this video, Bloomberg is just generalizing this across the whole online poker landscape. But hey, we're not there yet. Now the biggest revelation comes. The biggest dirty secret comes.
I was astonished to learn that some poker websites have internal in-house poker bots that they use to keep tables busy. This is a kind of dirty secret of online poker.
This is the revelation. He was astonished to learn that some poker sites have home bots. Now, if you do any research on this, any whatsoever, there's nothing out there, nothing proven, nothing sourced. Bloomberg themselves, obviously no sources whatsoever. He was just astonished to learn. Where did he learn this? I don't know. Nobody knows. He probably read it on some shitty 2+2 thread where a guy without any proof put something like that. That's all I could find. Like 1 or 2 threads of people completely without proof, completely out of nowhere saying, yeah, I think they use home bots. Where the hell is this coming from? Some poker sites are doing this. It's just bullshit. Those are the big issues I have here with this video. One, they obviously have no clue how online poker works or poker in general. They just throw out accusations, they throw out generalizations, have unsourced, unproven things they're throwing out there as a fact. They're taking a few stories of the poker world, generalizing it to the whole world. This is online poker landscape. It's full of bots, it's full of cheaters, it's not fun anymore, it's doomy, it's bad, you shouldn't play. Why not make a video where you talk about both sides of the story, talk about the sides that actively are investing in getting bots banned and getting cheaters banned. Talk about the community that have been finding bots themselves and working together with operators to get them banned. Talk about how we as a community are trying to make this ecosystem still healthy and still viable. How there's a future in this. How we've been talking about for the last 20 years that bots were going to take over and they still haven't taken over at all. About these parts, talk about the beauty of the game, talk about the evolved strategy in the game. At the end they're saying poker is not fun. What the hell? Poker has never been this fun. And that's a sad part. It's like they just want to paint it as gambling, they just want to paint it as a dark side, they want to paint it as something you shouldn't get involved in, while there's so much beauty in this game. So it's very sad to see another big media outlet put a video out there like that, which has such a negative impact on this community, such a negative impact on this game. And that's why we needed to talk about this video. Thanks for watching. My name is ValueHeavy Peter, and have a wonderful night.